Good morning, friends. I am Vivek Mulay. I am the owner of AUM Financial Services. Friends, being in the investment field, many times investors ask me whether they should invest in a residential property or they should invest into mutual funds. And my answer to this is, first of all, one should always have his own residential property, residential house to stay. That is for the residential purpose. It's not for investment. In fact, there are many arguments on this also, whether one should have a rented house or own house. But I would like to say that one should have a own house for his residence. So now this house is separate. Now, apart from this, now the discussion starts whether one should further invest into residential property or he should invest into mutual funds. Friend, before I start this presentation, I would like to say that mutual fund investments are always subject to market risk. Please read the offer documents carefully before investing. Now, friends, I would like to show you a small presentation which will make it very clear whether one should invest into mutual funds or whether one should invest into a residential property. So, friends, a residential property, the historical return is 5% CAGR. If return is your concern, then a residential property has given a return of 5% CAGR in the past, whereas mutual fund investments have given a CAGR of up to 12 to 15%, that to index funds. Second is the rental yield. Residential property has given a rental yield of around 3.5%. A mutual fund can give you the same monthly SWP option. Out of this 12 to 15% which you are likely to get, you can always decide what amount you wish to withdraw every month. Like, 1% per month or 0.5% per month or 0.75% per month, which makes you 9% a year. So here it is 3.5%, here it can be 9%. Liquidity. Residential property is very low in liquidity and it may take a lot of time. But a mutual fund, the liquidity is very high. In 4 days, the money gets credited in your bank account. Friends, one more thing about liquidity I would like to say is, suppose you have 10 lakhs in mutual funds and your residential property is worth 100 lakhs, for example, and you wish to have 5 lakhs you need. You cannot liquidate one bedroom from a residential property and get your money, but you can always liquidate only 5 lakhs from your mutual funds and you can get your 5 lakhs. So liquidity is very high in mutual funds, but is very low in residential property. Another feature is cost. A residential property is very high in registration and taxes and other costs, but a mutual funds are very low. There's only one expense ratio, which varies between 1 to 2%. Legal risk. A residential property has a very high legal risk. The title has to be clear, the uh, government documents have to be clear. So many legal risks are there. But in the mutual fund, there is no legal risk. Diversification. Residential property is very difficult to diversify. You cannot have many properties in many places. But in mutual fund, even if you have 10 lakhs, you can invest 1 lakh in 10 different funds, in 10 different market caps, in 10 different sectors. And mutual fund itself, the stocks are diversified. So it's a huge diversification in mutual fund, which is not in residential property. And inheritance, the last factor, it is very complex in residential property. But in mutual fund, it's very easy. A simple transmission form and the title is transferred to the next holding person or the nominee. So with some simple documents. So friends, considering all these factors, I feel that residential property is not as a good a convenient investment as mutual funds. Mutual funds score very high in mutual funds as compared to residential property. So friends, I would suggest that please consider all these factors when you decide to go for residential property as an investment instead of mutual funds. Look at the tax angle, look at the returns angle, look at the rental yield, look at the inheritance, look at the maintenance of the property. All factors mutual funds score much above the residential property, friends. So friends, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is my earnest request to please like and subscribe to my video, friends, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel, friends. And if you wish to invest, please consult us. We are there 24/7 to help you in your investments. My name is Vivek Mulay. Trust Vivek Mulay, trust mutual funds, and trust AUM Financial Services. Thank you, friends.